Hey everyone, welcome to Life Journal Jumpstart. My name is Garrett and I'm here to guide you a little bit through of what we're reading today. So grab your journal, grab your pen, grab your Bible, grab your coffee, and let's get going. Today's reading is 1 Kings 17 to 19 and Colossians 2. Let me give you a little bit of background on 1 Kings. It can get pretty confusing. So in 1 Kings, if you didn't know, under David, under Solomon, it was one country, one kingdom. Now that Solomon has passed away, the country is actually split into two, the northern half and the southern half. And the northern half is called Israel, which that's not confusing, and then the lower half is called Judah. Judah, just so you know, is where David's line resides and rules, and so technically it's the rightful heir to the throne for the entire kingdom, but the other half rebelled. And so the northern half right now is overseen by the king Ahab and his wife Jezebel, which did not walk in the ways of God. And right now, Elijah's in the picture, and he was hiding from Ahab, but now he shows himself. And there's an epic showdown between the prophets of Baal and Elijah, and really God. And it's awesome. I'm not going to really spoil it for you too much, but basically, after this whole showdown, Elijah has to go and hide because he's afraid Ahab might kill him. And he's at that point where he's like, God, take me. Just take me. I'm over it. I'm done. But God doesn't just yet. Instead, he tells him to eat and drink. And this is because in the same chapter, this is where the apprenticeship of Elisha begins. And this is where we begin to see the passing of the torch from one prophet to the next. And that just makes me wonder that if we're ready to give up, maybe it's time for us to begin investing into the next generation. Maybe when a lack of purpose or weariness, maybe it's time to pour who we are and what we've learned from God and wisdom and all sorts of things into someone younger and ready to go. And now we got our next book of the Bible. It's Colossians. And Paul's writing a letter to the church of Colossae. Epaphras started the church, and he's from Colossae. And so they're doing well. The church is doing great, but they're under intense pressure culturally and under harm, like threat of violence and things like that. And so the two cultural pressures are, from one side, pagan, kind of a polytheistic, mystical, kind of like Jesus is just one more God in the pantheon of gods we have. So that's one side they're being pressured from. And the other side is the strict Jewish religious side that says, no, you have to do the older covenant things of God. You have to do the law. You have to walk that out. And if you don't, you're not really following God. And so Paul addresses both of these in chapter 2. And Jesus Jesus is not one more God to worship. He is Lord over all. In Colossians, that's the big theme, is that he is Lord over all. And then you also have Jesus triumphing over every spiritual power, which means it's not any rituals that beat Jesus. It's not any traditions that are greater than Jesus. Jesus is greater than all of that. And he finishes it off with talking about how self-control comes from the resurrected, changed life. And so as we begin to read today, I would just ask us, there's so many good things in these scriptures, and how will I be different because of what I've read today?